Ready to make your next cruise smoother, safer, and a whole lot more fun? In this video, we are busting the most expensive and embarrassing cruise mistakes people still make. Today, we are diving into sneaky traps, timing slip-ups, tech gotchas, and onboard habits that drain your wallet or wreck your vibe. I will keep it simple, with practical fixes you can use from minute one. Whether it is your first sailing or your 15th, I promise there is at least one eye-opener waiting for you. Your future self on the Lido deck is already cheering, smoking on the balcony or inside your cabin. Look, I get it. That private balcony feels like your own little slice of paradise, and a quick smoke sounds relaxing. Here's the problem. Cruise ships treat fire like the ultimate enemy, and for good reason. One poorly extinguished cigarette has started real cabin fires in the past, damaging multiple rooms and forcing emergency responses. That is why smoking in cabins and on balconies is banned on virtually every line. Break the rule, and you're looking at hefty fines, possible removal from the ship, and a very awkward trip home that you pay for yourself. To put real numbers on it, Carnival spells it out clearly. If you are caught smoking on the balcony, the fine is $500 per incident, you can be put off at the next port at your own expense, and you could even be banned from sailing with them again. The smoke detectors in cabins are super sensitive. They can pick up cigarette smoke, vaping aerosol, and even strong sprays. Outdoors, many ships use cameras and patrols to spot glowing embers. If you smoke, the safe option is simple. Use the designated outdoor areas at the posted hours and be sure the wind is not blowing smoke toward other guests. Never toss ashes or butts overboard. Bring nicotine gum or lozenges for times when smoking areas are closed. You came for sunsets, seafood, and stress relief, not a lecture from security. Play it safe, follow the signs, and save the private balcony for coffee, sea breezes, and selfies. The only thing you should be burning out there is the calories from last night's dessert, skipping the muster drill. Yes, you just boarded, you want a snack, and the pool looks amazing. Still, those first 20 minutes at the muster drill are the most important minutes of your cruise. By international law, every guest must attend before sailing. The crew checks you in by cabin, and if you do not show, they will track you down. In real emergencies, people who skipped the drill are the ones who slow evacuations because they do not know where to go or what to do. Treat muster like your safety orientation. Arrive 10 minutes early, bring your cruise card, and pay attention. Note your station letter and the fastest route from your cabin to that station. If standing is hard for you, ask a crew member for a seat or assistance. Some ships use e-muster videos, but you still need to check in at your station so the crew confirms you understand the basics. Here's the payoff. Once you know the route, the alarm signals, and how to wear a life jacket, your mind relaxes and you enjoy the ship more. It is a small investment of time that protects you and everyone you love. Think of muster as your VIP pass to peace of mind, not bringing the right travel documents or letting them expire. Picture this. You roll up to the cruise terminal feeling fabulous, luggage tagged, sun hat ready, and then the agent smiles and says, "Passport, please." You hand it over like a champ, and 5 seconds later, your vacation evaporates. Why? Your passport expires in 4 months, and many countries want at least 6 months of validity beyond your trip. No 6 months, no sailing, and the cruise line will not refund you because documents are your responsibility. Here's what in order really means. A valid passport with enough time left on it, any required visas for the countries you are visiting, electronic travel authorizations when needed, proof of vaccines if your itinerary calls for it, yellow fever pops up on some route. Even if your cruise starts and ends in the same country, a single international stop can change the rules. Some travelers also need transit visas for certain ports. If you are a permanent resident, bring your green card and sometimes your home country passport too. Good news, this is totally preventable. Start a checklist a few months before you sail. Look up passport and visa requirements for every port, not just the first and last. Renew your passport early if it is inside that 6-month window. Carry documents in your hand luggage on embarkation day. Keep digital copies in your email or in the cloud, plus a photo on your phone. A simple zip pouch or lanyard keeps everything together. Do this prep now, so the only stamp on vacation is the one on your dessert passport. Bon voyage. Missing all aboard time. Here's the simplest way to turn a dream cruise into a sprinting workout you did not want. Every port day the ship sets an all-aboard time. The last moment everyone must be back on board before sail away. If you are late, the ship leaves. It really does. Unless you are on a ship-operated excursion that is clearly delayed, the captain is not holding position for your extra margarita. Quick story time. In Charlottetown, Canada, a ship sailed while 2 passengers showed up 45 minutes late. A dozen people were running behind that day, 10 barely made it, and 2 watched the big beautiful ship glide away without them. How can you avoid becoming internet famous as a pier runner? Check the all-aboard time in the daily planner and on the gangway signs. Set an alarm on your phone 1 hour before, then start heading back when it rings. If you are far from the pier, add a cushion for traffic, taxi lines, and tender boats. Remember, gangways often come up 30 minutes before departure for safety checks. Get back a little early, grab the free port Wi-Fi by the ship, take a few photos, and enjoy the sail away. Be the relaxed traveler waving from the rail, not the tiny dot in a viral video shouting at a captain who cannot hear you, leaning over or sitting on the balcony railing. I know the view is stunning, the ocean is sparkling, the breeze is perfect, and that selfie is calling your name. But here's the truth your future self will thank you for. Balcony railings are there to keep you safe, not to hold your weight while you perch like a seagull. They sit roughly waist to chest height for most adults, which is great for normal use. The moment you climb, sit, or lean your center of gravity beyond that line, you are asking gravity to do what it does best. Cruise ships move. Sometimes it is a gentle rock you barely feel. Sometimes it is a little bump when a wave says hello. Add a surprise gust of wind, and even sure-footed folks can wobble. If you have had a cocktail or two, your balance gets a bit more optimistic than accurate. That is not the time to test physics. The simple fix is this. Keep both feet on the deck and your hips behind the railing. Want that panoramic shot? Use a selfie stick. Back up a step, or ask a neighbor to play photographer. On open decks, avoid standing on furniture to get higher. Furniture slides. Decks can be damp. Your photo is not worth a tumble. Traveling with grandkids? Great! Keep balcony doors locked when you are not right there with them. Kids are curious climbers, and a chair looks like a ladder. Enjoy the balcony for what it does best. Coffee at sunrise, a good book, and sea breezes that do wonders for the soul. The only thing going over that railing should be your worries, not you. Hand hygiene on a cruise, your tiny superpower. Cruise ships are floating neighborhoods, thousands of people, shared railings and elevator buttons, buffets that make your eyes light up. It is fun, and it is the perfect playground for germs, if we get lazy. The big villain is norovirus, the stomach bug that can turn a sunny sea day into a marathon of nausea and bathroom breaks. How does it spread? Mostly through hands. 1 or 2 sick folks who skip washing after the restroom can touch serving tongs, handrails, or door handles and pass it to dozens. That is why you see sanitizer dispensers at dining entrances and hear cheerful washy-washy reminders. They are not nagging. They are protecting everyone. The fix is easy and powerful. Wash with soap and water often, especially before eating and after the restroom or touching common surfaces. Give it a full 20 seconds. If you cannot get to a sink, use the alcohol gel at the door. At the buffet, always use the utensils provided and keep your hands out of shared dishes. Try not to touch your face until your hands are clean. Do not assume it will not happen to me. On ships, viruses do not discriminate, and they spread fast. We all learned during COVID that basic hygiene matters. A small habit like regular hand washing can be the difference between a fantastic week and 3 days confined to your cabin. Clean hands, happy cruise. Travel insurance, the boring purchase that saves your vacation. I know, insurance is not glamorous, but skipping it is like walking a tightrope without a net. Onboard medical care is private and pricey. A simple visit for an upset stomach can run into the hundreds. Hospitalization or a helicopter evacuation can cost tens of thousands. Most domestic health plans and basic credit card travel insurance do not cover care outside your country or at sea. Older travelers are especially vulnerable to emergencies like a heart issue or a fracture. People have taken on serious debt because they sailed uninsured. Here are real numbers. An air evacuation from a cruise near the Bahamas to Florida can cost $30,000 to $50,000. A passenger with appendicitis who had to disembark in Greece faced more than $15,000 between hospital bills and a new flight, all out of his pocket. Ouch. The solution is straightforward. Buy a travel policy that specifically includes international medical coverage and emergency medical evacuation. Read the fine print. Many plans cap benefits at $10,000, which is not enough, or exclude pre-existing conditions unless you purchase shortly after booking. Cruise-friendly policies can also cover connection delays if you miss the ship and even lost luggage. If you have health conditions, that extra peace of mind is priceless. One pro tip: purchase within 1 to 2 weeks of reserving your cruise so you are eligible for pre-existing condition and trip cancellation benefits. Expect to pay about 5 to 8% of your trip cost. That small slice can save your whole vacation. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Beach days in port. Read the water before you dive in. I know the plan. Step off the ship, find that postcard beach, and float your worries away. Before you jump in, give the ocean a quick safety check. Many gorgeous beaches in cruise ports have no lifeguards and very little signage, which means you are the lifeguard for yourself. The U.S. State Department warns that rip currents are a major danger in places like Costa Rica and that many beaches have limited or no supervision. Translation for travelers like us: beautiful, yes. Self-serve safety, also yes. Rip currents are sneaky. You often do not see them until you feel a gentle conveyor belt tugging you outward. Even on a low-risk day, rip currents can turn life-threatening near jetties, reefs, piers, or sandbar gaps. That is straight from NOAA, which also reminds us that rips can speed up quickly and surprise even strong swimmers. One more reason to respect the water. Tragedies do happen, even at cruise-operated beach resorts with staff on duty. 2 American guests in their 70s died in separate water incidents at Carnival's new Celebration Key in the Bahamas in August 2025. Heartbreaking, and a sober reminder that calm-looking water is not the same as safe water. Smart swim game plan. Check flags, ask a local about conditions, and glance at the day's surf or rip current forecast on your phone before you go. Stay where there are lifeguards when possible. Skip ocean swims after drinking. If you feel a rip pulling you out, do not fight it head-on. Stay calm, float to conserve energy, then swim parallel to shore until you are out of the current and angle back in. Put kids and less confident swimmers in life vests, and on remote beaches consider staying waist-deep and close to shore. The best souvenir is coming back to the ship safe and smiling. Bringing prohibited electrical gadgets. I know the urge. You want crisp shirts, perfect curls, and a fresh brewed coffee in your cabin. The problem is that many household gadgets are flat-out banned at sea because they are fire risks. Traditional clothing irons get seriously hot. That is why hotels and ships rank them among the top causes of onboard fires. Surge-protected power strips are another no-go because they can spark or trip sensitive ship systems. Security actually scans luggage for these items, and if they spot one, it gets pulled. Best case, they hold it until the end of the cruise. Worst case, you get a fine in the $200 to $500 range and a conversation you will not enjoy. Good news, there are safe alternatives. Most lines allow small cordless travel steamers that shut off automatically. Even easier, use the ship's laundry or pressing service. It is usually a few dollars per item and worth every penny. Need more outlets? Pack a simple, non-surge power strip or a multi-USB charger that is clearly labeled. Never daisy-chain devices. Never charge under pillows or on soft bedding. And do not MacGyver adapters together. If you are unsure, ask guest services before you plug in. The crew would rather answer a "can I use this" question than respond to a ringing smoke alarm. Keep the cabin cozy, your wardrobe neat, and the fire marshal bored out of his mind. That is the goal. Traveling to the home port on sail day. This one is simple. Do not race the ship. Flying or driving to the port on the same day sounds efficient until weather, traffic, or airline roulette says otherwise. The ship follows a schedule carved in stone. If you arrive late, it sails without you. There is no rebooking desk at the pier and no refund if you miss embarkation because documents closed or boarding ended. The stress-free plan is to arrive at least 1 day early, sleep near the port, enjoy a relaxed breakfast, and stroll onto the ship like royalty. If that's really not possible, book the earliest flight in the morning, avoid short layovers, and consider using the cruise line's official airport transfer. If their bus is delayed, they're aware of it and might wait for you. Sometimes they do. A few pro tips. Buy trip insurance that covers trip interruption and missed connections. Keep medications, travel documents, and 1 day of clothes in your carry-on. Track your flight like a hawk and get to the airport early. If you are driving, pad an extra time for road closures or bridge traffic. Remember, a cruise is a big investment. Protect it with a simple buffer day so your vacation starts with a sail-away cocktail, not a sprint through the terminal. Posting your cruise in real time on social media. Those balcony sunsets and fancy desserts beg to be posted. I get it. The risk is that live posting can overshare more than you intend. Geotags broadcast where you are. Reflections in mirrors reveal cabin numbers. Photos of the daily planner clue people in on exactly when your stateroom is empty. Even wristbands and boarding passes can contain scannable info when zoomed in. Most folks scrolling are lovely. A few are not, and they know which hashtags to watch. You do not have to go stealth, just be smart. Turn off location services for your camera and social apps before you sail. Crop or blur barcodes, cabin numbers, and wristbands. Save the detailed cabin tour and the shot of your itinerary for when you are back home. If you must share in the moment, keep it vague. Beach day works. Deck 10, Cabin 1342, leaving now for 3 hours does not. Consider posting to a private group or close friends list while you travel, then make the big highlight reel public after. Bonus benefit of the delay: you actually live the moment instead of curating it. Take the photos, tuck the phone away, and enjoy the sound of the waves. Your followers can wait a day. Your safety and peace of mind are worth the pause. Found this cruise guide helpful? Join the crew by subscribing and giving us a thumbs up. You'll never miss a port or a pro tip. Overdoing food and drinks, fun today, regret tomorrow. Cruises are a buffet lover's dream. Endless stations, desserts that wink at you, cocktails with umbrellas. You are on vacation, so treats are part of the fun. The trouble starts when every meal turns into a feast, and every hour into happy hour. That is when you can slide from yum to oh. Overeating can trigger nasty indigestion, and for folks with heart conditions, that extra salt and fat plus heat and extra activity can spike blood pressure or worse. Big food and alcohol binges can also wear down your immune system, which means you are more likely to catch whatever bug is making the rounds. Add ship motion to a hangover or a heavy stomach, and you have a recipe for slips on stairs or wet floors. People with pre-existing conditions have had heart issues after a night of too much food, dancing, and drinks. Others push through the heat after overeating and end up with heat exhaustion or uncontrollable vomiting. None of that says vacation. Smart game plan: pace yourself. You do not need to try everything on day one. Enjoy the favorites, then tap the brakes. Alternate drinks with water so you stay hydrated and clear-headed. If you have diabetes, hypertension, or other conditions, keep your normal habits. Buffets have healthy choices if you look for them. Go for fruit, vegetables, and lean proteins, and keep portion sizes friendly. If you are packing in excursions and dance nights, balance that with real meals and rest, not just midnight pizza. The ship may serve food 24 hours, but your stomach does not work overtime without complaining. Come home with great memories, not a souvenir of sky-high triglycerides or a medical scare. Walking safely on board, master your sea legs. Even on calm days, a cruise ship is a moving world. Hallways, stairs, open decks, buffets. It is easy to forget that a gentle sway can become a quick shift. That is why lots of onboard injuries come from slips and falls. Think wet floors near pools or the buffet, a little rock from a passing wave, and someone hustling in slick flip-flops. Skip the handrail on a staircase at the wrong moment, and you can tumble. Sprint across a damp deck and a backward somersault might be next. It happens in low light too. The theater stairs look pretty under a glow, but you still need a hand on the rail. Dance floors and clubs can be slick after spilled drinks. If the sea kicks up, a sudden lurch can send you sideways if you have nothing to grab. Simple fixes that work. Use the handrails on stairs every time. In hallways, walk with purpose and, if you feel motion, steady yourself on a wall or rail. Wear proper footwear. Pool decks call for sandals with real traction, not smooth bottom slides. After rain, treat outdoor decks like a freshly mopped kitchen and watch for wet floor signs. Do not run indoors either. No buffet item is worth a chipped tooth. If you have been drinking, double your caution since alcohol and ship motion are not a balanced combo. In the gym, make sure equipment is secure and stay within your limits. A fall from a treadmill on a moving vessel is no joke. Build your sea legs with a little patience, and you will end the night at the show, not with ice on your knee. What not to flush? Protect the ship's plumbing and your wallet. Here's an unglamorous truth that saves headaches. Cruise ship toilets use a powerful vacuum system that moves waste through narrow pipes. They are amazing at what they are designed to do. They are terrible at handling anything that is not toilet paper or what your body already processed. One wrong item can clog the system for an entire section of cabins. Those biodegradable wipes you love at home do not break down fast enough here. Tampons, diapers, paper towels, and cotton swabs are all bad news. The result can be backups, foul odors, and a very grumpy maintenance crew. Repairs at sea are complicated and expensive. Bringing out specialized plumbers in port can cost around 5 times what it would on land. If the techs trace the clog back to your cabin, you can be billed for the cleanup, often more than $250, plus the embarrassment of the knock on your door. The golden rule is easy: only flush toilet paper and what nature intended. Everything else goes in the trash can, which your steward empties several times a day. If something slips into the bowl by accident, tell your cabin attendant right away. Early action can prevent a bigger mess. It may feel awkward for a minute, but it beats a whole hallway dealing with a plumbing drama. Keep the system happy and it will keep you comfortable. Reckless stunts on board, not worth the headline. Cruise ships are built for fun, not for auditioning as the next action hero. Every sailing there is someone who decides the rules are suggestions and tries a stunt. Climbing over balcony railings for that wow selfie, hopping between verandas, sneaking through crew-only doors, even jumping from higher decks into a pool. None of that is brave or clever. It is dangerous for you, it distracts the crew, and it can trigger full safety responses that affect everyone. Cruise lines could not be clearer. If your behavior puts safety at risk, you can be escorted off at the next port, and depending on what you did, banned from the line altogether. Here's one real example. A guest who stood outside her balcony on a Royal Caribbean ship was identified by security, put off the ship at the next port, and banned for life, according to the company's policy statements at the time. That is a very expensive photo op. So here is your common sense playbook. Keep your feet on the deck and your hip. Skip any shortcut through restricted doors. If you are curious about behind-the-scenes areas, book one of the guided tours the line offers. The crew trains for months to handle lifeboats, rigging, and high places safely. Passengers do not. You came for sunsets, shows, and sea breezes. Enjoy every bit of that. Be the star of your vacation, not the reason the captain has to make an announcement that no one wants to hear. Trusting the cabin safe too much. That little safe in your cabin feels comforting, right? Pop in the passport, a little cash, close the door, and you are done. Handy? Yes. Infallible? No. Remember, authorized security or management can open those safes when needed, using master codes or special keys. And while most crew members are absolute pros, any large operation can have a bad apple. Why put every last treasure in one small box that others can access? Many crew safes start life with factory codes like 0000 or 1234. If no one has changed that default, well, you see the problem. You will even hear rumors that some models can be coaxed open with a strong magnet and the right technique. Plus, not every safe is bolted into the ship's structure. In theory, someone could remove the whole unit and deal with it later. There have been occasional reports of guests claiming jewelry or cash went missing without visible damage. So, what is the smart play? Use the safe for the basics you really need protected, like passports and a manageable amount of cash. For high-value items, go old school and ask guest services about the ship's main security safe. They can store valuables and give you a receipt. Spread your risk too. Keep cards and passport in the cabin safe, but divide cash into a few discrete spots in your luggage or clothing. And when you set your code, make it something unique. Never use your cabin number or obvious dates. Think of the cabin safe as one helpful lock, not Fort Knox. Your common sense is the best security system on board. The wind tunnel trap, opening both cabin doors at once. There is a tiny habit that can cause a big problem. Opening your balcony door and your cabin door to the hallway at the same time turns your room into a wind tunnel. Ships carefully balance air pressure. When you create that cross breeze, air rushes through like it is late for dinner. Balcony doors can slam hard enough to injure fingers or even arms. Light items become flying projectiles. Papers, hats, even a passport and wallet can catch that gust and take off toward the ocean. There have been reports of multiple incidents in a single year from this exact mistake. It can even trigger pressure sensors that the bridge reads as an alarm. The fix is easy and totally worth the 2 extra seconds. Before you step onto the balcony, close the hallway door. Coming back in, close the balcony, then open the hallway door. Teach everyone in your cabin the routine, especially kids, because they love flinging doors wide. Keep loose papers and small items away from the balcony threshold. If it is a windy day, hold the door with one hand and move slowly. It sounds minor, but preventing that wind tunnel saves you from injuries, lost valuables, and a visit from security wondering why alarms just lit up. Your balcony is for coffee and sea breezes, not for recreating a wind machine. Dress for the day. Shoes, layers, and zero regrets. Outfits matter more at sea than you might think. Wear flip-flops on a hiking excursion, and you are asking for a slip or a turned ankle. Rock high heels on a moving deck, and one little sway can send you down the stairs faster than you planned. Skip a light jacket on a breezy night, and even in the Caribbean you might be shivering on the outer decks. Inside, the air conditioning can feel enthusiastic, so layers are your friend. Safety rules are real too. Climbing walls require closed-toe shoes. Show up in sandals and you will sit that one out. Zip lines on private islands do not allow loose flip-flops. Barefoot on deck might feel relaxed, but you could step on a stray bit of glass or burn your feet at midday. Try this. Pack comfortable shoes with good grip for excursions and sneakers for sea days when the ship might roll a bit. Toss in a sweater or windbreaker even for warm itineraries. For specialty restaurants, check the dress code so your evening is not interrupted at the door. Sun smart is part of the look. Bring a hat and sunglasses to avoid heat issues later. Headed to Alaska or the fjords? Go with waterproof layers, a warm hat, and real traction underfoot because wet decks plus wind equals slippery. Bottom line, dress for the activity and the weather you will actually face, not just the photo you want. You will enjoy more, get hurt less, and never miss out because your shoes or layers said no when your heart said yes. Not switching your phone to airplane mode? Let's save you from a bill that ruins the afterglow of your cruise. When the ship sails away from land, your phone starts hunting for a signal. If it cannot find a normal tower, it grabs a maritime satellite network that costs a small fortune. Even if you never place a call, apps nibble data in the background. That is how people come home to eye-watering roaming charges they didn't see coming. Here's one real example. A couple celebrating their anniversary on Carnival Venezia forgot to switch to airplane mode for 10 days and returned to a $2,349 satellite roaming bill. They thought they were only on the ship's Wi-Fi, but their phones quietly kept exchanging data. The carrier said the charges were valid and required payment. Ouch. So what is the game plan? The moment you sail, flip on airplane mode and leave it on unless you have a very specific international plan that covers maritime networks. Then turn Wi-Fi back on and use the ship's internet package without risking cellular charges. In foreign ports, keep mobile data off if your plan does not cover that country. Do not rely on warning texts from your carrier. Those can arrive late, after the damage is done. Need to be reachable for family? Look up your carrier's rates for each country and at sea, or buy a limited international plan or local SIM just for port days. Ask yourself this: do you want to pay for the ship's Wi-Fi? Or do you want to fund a satellite for your phone company? 5 seconds to switch to airplane mode can save you thousands. Your wallet will thank you. Washing clothes in the cabin sink or shower. Quick question: is rinsing a swimsuit really worth flooding your hallway? Cruise ship plumbing is not like home. Pipes are much narrower, about 1 inch across, and the system uses powerful vacuum suction. Regular laundry detergent foams a lot, and even a single sock can lodge in a drain and block the line. That is when gray water backs up into multiple cabins, bringing mess and odor. If maintenance traces the clog to your room, you could be on the hook for cleanup that runs into the thousands. The rule is simple: do not wash clothes in the sink, shower, or toilet, ever. Bring enough outfits so you are not tempted, or use the ship's laundry services. Paying per item is far cheaper than paying for a plumbing fiasco. Some ships offer self-service laundromats on select decks. If you see them, great, use those. If not, let the pros handle it. Think about it. Do you really want to spend your sea day waiting for a technician while your carpet dries? Keep detergents away from the bathroom, keep fabric out of drains, and toss everything that is not water where it belongs. A little planning keeps your cabin fresh, your neighbors happy, and your vacation blissfully free of plumbing drama. Consider this your easy, no-stress guide to cruising without the mishaps. If you picked up a tip today, give this video a like and share it with your travel buddy. Got a wild story or a hard lesson learned at sea? Drop it in the comments so we can all get smarter together. Hit subscribe and check out our other cruise videos waiting in the library. Until next time, may your only waves be ocean waves and not surprise bills.